My first ever Hiya figure. Oh man, I will always have a special relationship with this figure. Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm the Defective Butcher, and thank you for tuning in to yet another Godzilla figure review. Today, we're actually re-reviewing the Hiya Toys GXK re-evolved Godzilla, and if you don't know what a re-review is, then allow me to enlighten you. A re-review is basically just me redoing some of my older reviews just to get them up to the current standards I have now. Maybe we'll uncover some new things, maybe I'll change something up about my previous review, and maybe something will receive a new score. I don't know. But first things first, let's go ahead and talk about this guy before we can discover any of that. So, as previously mentioned, this is my first ever Hiya figure. I absolutely adore this guy. I think it's a fantastic starter figure, and honestly, I think everybody should get it. However, I will note that some things are kind of hard to come back to, but I mean, being honest with you, this is my emotional support figure. If that makes any sense. This is my comfort food. This is the one I keep coming back to just because I love the accurateness of it. So yeah, let's get into paint. So obviously, as you can see, most of the figure will be sporting this gray-brown color, and it looks absolutely beautiful all over. And yeah, there's a lot of dry brushing going on here too, to just kind of accentuate some of these cracks, some of these bumps, these grooves, these just finer details, especially here in the abdomen area. Like there's this, and yeah, there's just some dry brushing in there to make it look even more detailed, you know? And then here on the chest, got some like slight tan going on. Let's see if I can fix the light. There we go. Anyway, as you can see, there's like some tannish brown going on right here, and some of that brown kind of extends to the arms as well. And then the lower side of the tail will actually be a different color from the rest of the body, a lighter gray with a dusting of brown all over it. And honestly, it looks pretty nice. Moving up to the face, the teeth are not painted the best. But honestly, I haven't seen a single Godzilla figure with amazing paint on the teeth. I'm gonna kind of give it a pass until I start seeing some Hiya Godzilla figures with amazingly painted teeth. They're sculpted nicely, but they do kind of get lost in the paint with the rest of the mouth. It looks like he has a chocolate milk mustache going on, so I don't know what's up with that. The eyes, they actually look pretty fantastic. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Dude, and it is so flippin' tiny. There's my finger right next to it. And both eyes are done up to an amazing degree. Holy shapoopy. That is some beautiful, beautiful paintwork. He looks kind of goofy from the front, but we never talk about how Godzilla looks from the front. This isn't the, this isn't what you want, is it? Let's go ahead and open up that lovely mouth and get a look at some of that paintwork on the inside of the mouth. Man, that is just menacing. Anyway, woo! So the inside of the mouth will be like painted a pinkish purple color, and it's very fleshy looking. And then there's some like dry brushing, some black to accentuate the tongue there. Looks like maybe some spots of brown in there as well. Let's look at the roof of the mouth, and holy shoot, that looks like a, you know what, never mind. Never you mind what that looks like. It looks silly is what it looks like. Moving on from that area, the dorsal fins have some tan brushing in there as well. It all looks very beautiful. And then the claws, are they painted? Let's find out. They seem to not be. They seem to be the same color as the rest of the hand. That's okay. I wasn't expecting them to be, but it would have been nice anyway. The toenails are painted. Enough of that. The toe claws are painted. And honestly, it looks very nice. Paint, does it get a different score? Nah. Gold star is perfect for the paint. It was a pretty good assessment, so good job past me. Paint looks great. If you didn't know, I did go through some of those older reviews whenever I started doing the whole rating system, and I did put down what my rating was for each one in the description. You could see what the hindsight was back then whenever I started the rating system, so go check that out if you want to, and then yeah, come back here and see if anything has changed. Moving on to detail. Detail still gets a gold star because CG Godzilla. This thing is beautiful. I believe they did use the CG files for this guy. So yeah, detail, that's still a gold star. Let's move on to articulation. Articulation is the hardest thing to return to with a Hiya figure after playing with an SH for a while. Oh man, this thing has spoiled me. This is articulation heaven. Look at that tail curve. Hold on, I gotta... There we go. Fixed. That tail curve is freaking beautiful. And, Re-Evolved here can't accomplish that. As a matter of fact, half the articulation that the evolved Godzilla there by SH can do, this guy cannot. I don't know if that came out coherently, but it made sense in my mind. I'm a little tired, leave me alone. So let's start at the head. He can look down exactly that far without cheesing any of the joints back here. He can look down that far. He can look up that far. And honestly, that's not the best. The jaw can open, and as you've seen before, the tail is posable as well. So, hooray. If you want to get a even more up bend, there is this segment here, so you can move that, and then bam, slightly more up look. And the same goes for if you want him to look down a little more, but honestly, that's as far as it goes. And this can rotate. You can kind of get a good look in there if you wanted to. These arms can move at a 360, which is pretty nice. And it can come out about that far, which not very far at all. There is a swivel here at the elbow. The elbow can go straight all the way, and then you can also accomplish a 90-degree bend at the elbow. The wrists on ball joints, so whatever manner of pose you want to do with these things, go for it, man. It's yours to do. Yeah, very nice. Let's move on to these legs. So they close in that far, and then that's your spread. That is the entirety of your spread. Alright, let's move on to the kicks. Full 360 at the leg. So, yeah, there you go. And then you have a double bend situation here at the knee, but it doesn't matter because that's as far as it'll go anyway. So, it is what it is, I suppose. You're never gonna get much out of it anyway. And then here at the foot, it can kick back about that far, which isn't a lot. Hold on, let's do this foot because it's right in the front. The foot can go back about that far, and then forward about that far. Slight rotation, and then some kind of manner of a pivot. Not a whole lot. And then the tail. Oh boy, the tail is the hardest thing to return to because it's not very posable at all, but it does make my favorite creaking sound I've ever heard. I don't know what it is about the creak of a Hiya figure, but they just sound so freaking awesome to me and my ADHD. It just, it really appeals to me for some reason, and I absolutely freaking love it. Articulation, that's still gonna be a gold star because I do like it. Even if it's not nearly as good as an SH figure, it's still fun to mess around with, man. Like, I know Godzilla's gonna have some limitations with how he's gonna be able to, you know, maneuver or whatever, but he's not this limited. However, I cannot say that this is a bad figure in any stretch of the word. This is perfectly fine. Articulation still gets a gold star. After all this time, I can comfortably say this is a great figure. Which leads me to my personal enjoyment. I still absolutely love this thing. As previously mentioned, this is my emotional support figure. I love this guy to death. And I think anybody that picks him up at a reasonable price will love him too. I believe right now it's only aftermarket prices, because I think they stopped selling them for some reason. But yeah, if you can find them at a reasonable price, go for it. This is easily the definitive version of this mold with this paint without the heat ray lights or whatever. So yeah, get this guy. Personal enjoyment is still a gold star, as is the overall score. I still recommend this guy. So hey, if you made it this far into the video, comment down below. Go Godzilla. First comment will be pinned. And with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed the review, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.